Yes. Let me get dressed. You ever catch something online? You ever catch something online and it mess your head up so bad that it stops you, it stops your train of thought. You know what I mean? It makes it hard to get back on track and do what you're supposed to do. I was distracted for a minute, but it's yeah. What up, y'all? Urban Therapy with Sun 752. This your daily. It's your daily go-get-mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it wins? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talk about give me your whole check to your wife tonight, and everything is gonna be okay. We talk about give me all your money to your woman today. Everything is gonna be just fine. We talk about taking all of mine and letting you shine, and everything is gonna be like this. Yo, would you ever do it? Have you ever heard of it, sis? Everything is gonna be like, what? Yo, brothers be doing that shit. What the heck? Everything is gonna go like, what? Hey, what it is? Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. Let me get at least one of these out of the way. Get one of these out of the way. Hold on. We good. So check it out. Daily go-get-mism show all up in your area. This is Sun 752. Y'all know how it go. Tonight. The hell? Okay. Tonight, we are talking about giving your woman, men who give their woman their entire paycheck. I'm talking about the whole thing. Like, basically, you haven't even cashed the joint yet, and you done signed it over to her. Well, men have done it. And it's been going on for I don't know. It may have been going on for centuries. I don't know how paychecks work, you know what I mean, before the 1900s. But I know in the 1900s, there have been plenty of men who came home, gave the entire check to their woman, to their wife, whoever was there with the feminine, the one that had the asses and the titties, or lack thereof, whatever. The one that had the softest voice, or, you know, or its equivalent. And a lot of men think that that's the way to go. Now, there are other men who say, I would never do no crazy shit like that. There's no way I could ever be convinced that that's the right thing to do. No way. No. I would probably be one of those men. I'm not working the whole week, 2 weeks. I don't care how I'm not working the whole day and forking over my check. It's not going to happen. But I wasn't raised that way. Some men have been raised that way, and they've been raised to believe that that's the right thing to do. Now, it would be hard for me to think or believe that a man who hasn't been raised that way would somehow come to the conclusion that he should take his check and... Hold on. Let me get my handy dandy pen. My handy dandy pen is my prop. There you go. Here you go, baby. Just, you know, when I need it, just give me a couple of dollars. Go ahead and pay the bills. Put the food in the house. Put whatever's left away. You know what I mean? Just give me a couple of dollars. Go get a 6-pack. Shoot some pool. You know what I mean? I don't need much. Go ahead, take care of kids. Take care of the house. Take care of the bills. I'll see you next week. With the same shit. I don't know, man. I've seen it done. But the reasons that I've seen it done is what separates the men from the boys. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to get into it tonight. Get into it and get involved. These puzzle pieces right now. We going to get into it. Get involved. These puzzle pieces right now. We going to get into it. Get involved in these puzzle pieces right now. We going to solve. I said it. Get involved. These puzzle pieces right now. We going to solve. I said get involved. These get into it. Get involved. These puzzle pieces right now. We gonna solve, y'all. Get into it. Get involved. These puzzle pieces right now we gonna solve, y'all. Get into it. Get involved. These puzzle pieces right now we gonna solve. Don't act like y'all don't know nothing about this subject or like y'all never heard of it or like it's foreign or whatever. Don't do that, because you know it might not be you. It might not be you and yours, but it might have been your friends. It might have been your cousins. It might have been your brothers. It might have been, shoot, have you ever had to talk somebody out of giving somebody their whole check? Because they don't seem to see it. They so pussy whip. They so whip. They so whip. They so whip. I can't see a goddamn thing. It's going down like that. Nose open like a motherfucker. Yeah, that's fat. Can't see the forest for the trees. Yeah, giving up the check. What you wanna be? Let's get into it. Let me move the hardware out of the way so we can have this conversation today. So yeah, man. Yeah, I know I've seen it. And every time I saw it, I know the first time I saw it, I was thinking like, is this the right thing to do? Because I ain't seen my dad do it. I sure as hell didn't see my stepdad do it. Neither one of them, they wasn't about that life. They was damn near the same man. They was damn near the same man. My mom definitely had a type. Either that or she was the type. Yeah, you fuck with that. Fuck with that. What up, y'all? What up, T. Carey Wright? Morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peepers going directly into your site. And what we got? Varshay. What up, Varshay McDonald? All up in the house. Good to see you. Always and forever. Always and forever. Thanks for coming through. And Miko. Miko, what's good? How you feeling? And what's that, 10 rag? What's that, 10 rag? So what presence you have? What a presence you have. Okay, that's what's up. Miko says, hopefully you having a good night, everyone. I know I am. I'm feeling like a real man should. I'm feeling like a real man should. And I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. Yeah. Time to get down to business. Well, you know what? I'm gonna take a seat and let's do just that. We are talking about men who give their women their entire paycheck. What you know? Make sure y'all hit the like button. You know, as y'all sashay on in here. You know what I mean? Do-si-do on up in here. As you sashay and do-si-do. Just make sure you hit the like button. Do me that one little solid. I ain't gonna ask you to do nothing. I was just, just hit the like button and we be good. What is it, y'all? What is it? Who have you known? Have you ever known anybody to fork over their entire paycheck? I have. I've seen it. Now, I mean, I must admit that the times that I've seen it, it was almost a necessary thing because the people that I've seen it done with, for the most part, have been cats that were on drugs and shit. They was strung out on the crack. So if the woman didn't get that money as soon as they got paid, then there wasn't going to be no money for groceries. There wasn't going to be no money for the lights. There wasn't going to be no money for the water. There wasn't going to be no money for the gas. It wasn't going to be no money for the rent. It wasn't going to be no money for extracurricular activities. It wasn't going to be no money for the kids. So it made sense. And not only did homies fork over their entire check, they had their woman come up to the job and get the check from the boss. Get the check to the boss. Like my man was so strong that he ain't even want to see it because he got paid in cash. It was an under the table job. So he got paid in cold cash money. That wasn't a lot of money, but guess what? That little bit of money did what it was supposed to do. And in his hands, that money wasn't going to do nothing but go inside that pipe. Give me a rock. I want a rock. Rock. I want a rock. Rock. I want to rock. Rock. Yeah, he was in deep. He was in deep. So when she would come up to the job, we would just hand her the envelope. Like, here you go. And that worked out for a while until he got to the point where he was like, yo, don't give my woman. He was like, yo, don't give my woman my money. Give me my money. What was I going to tell him? No. I can't tell that man that I can't give him his money in his hand. Man, yeah. And he did whatever he did with it, what he did with it. So he got the money from me before she got there. When she got there, she was like, I'm here to pick up the check for blah, blah, blah. You here to pick up the check for blah, blah, blah? Or should I say you here to pick up the pay for blah, blah, blah? Yeah, I'm here to pick up the pay from blah, 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 just like last week. I said, well, blah, blah, already got their money. And you know, between you and I think you better catch up with him quick. You can probably catch him around the corner. You know what he's doing. You know what I mean? Just ask for blah, blah, blah. It was what it was. Do it. Wait, hold up. Do it, my boy. Says, I quit smoking crack and meth. Well, good for you. I've never known anybody that smoked crack and meth. So, salute. Salizzy loot. Miko says, honestly, I haven't seen my dad give the entire paycheck, but most of it, and let my mom do some bills or whatever if she wanted to. I mean, that's just called being together. That's called a family. I mean, a man is supposed to provide. Don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna sit up here and tell you that you shouldn't give your woman no money. But your entire check? Like, now, and y'all can correct me because, you know, I can be very opinionated on some things like this. I can be very opinionated. And it is my opinion that if a man can't manage his money, he shouldn't have no money. And if a man can't manage his money better than his woman, and he's not dealing with a lot of money, he probably shouldn't have a woman. Like, what woman wants to be with a man who can't manage just manage his paycheck? If you can't manage your paycheck, how can you manage a household? How? You can't lead your household. You can't even fucking distribute your paycheck correctly. You pay all your necessities, and then you keep the rest. You should be banking some, but that's my feelings on it. That's my feelings on it. TK Wright says, my dad gave my mom the whole check because she was better at budgeting. Interesting. Because she was better at budgeting. She needed the whole check in order to budget. No, I ain't even trying to be funny. Like, she needed the whole check in order to budget? Like, the whole check? Like, unless your dad was on drugs or had a gambling habit, what was he going to do that didn't have anything to do with budgeting? I mean, you know, just keeping it $1, keeping it a stizak. Well, like a man that doesn't have mad vices, it should be kind of easy to budget. Like, I got all of this money. I don't have a drinking habit. I don't have a drug habit, and I don't gamble. So what do I have left to do with the money? It should be enough money for the bills. Now, you know, say in a situation where you are living beyond your means, but that's a whole different conversation. Seika Sala. My man Seika Sala is in the house. What's going on, my dude? He says, this woman better be 90s J-Lo, 90s Holly or 90s Pam Anderson for me to give my check. I mean, I wouldn't give a fuck if this chick was so beautiful there wasn't a person in the world that could resist a male and female. You ain't getting all my money. I don't give a fuck. There's nothing you can do. If the IRS came and said, listen, Mr. McIntyre, you're going to do mad years if you don't fork over your entire check. Guess what? I'm doing time. Are you not getting all of mine? So even with the threat of being locked away where I couldn't touch a woman is going to make me give up all my money. You think I'm giving up all my money to a woman? Nigga, what? I got a mental block on giving away all my money. I ain't even lying. The real shit. When it comes to all that I have, I got a mental block on it. You know how, have y'all ever known anybody like this? And this is real shit. Have you ever known anybody that no matter how much juice or water you pour in a glass with them, they always have something left over? So, you may have noticed this and wonder like, what the fuck is going on? So you may have given them the smallest glass and still only filled it up halfway or a quarter of the way just to see if they was going to drink it all. And they didn't. Like there's something about them that will not drink all of the liquid. I don't know what it is. Even if they bitch to you like, damn, can you spare it? Yeah, they saying, can you spare it? But they still had some left in the glass. You just doing an experiment to see if they will, like, if they're doing this on purpose. And evidently they were, because no matter how little you gave them, they always had some of the drink left. That's how I am with my money. You're not getting all my money. There's no way you're going to get it all. No way. No cop, no judge, no lawyer, no entity. God ain't getting all my money. And I know, and part of the reason he ain't getting it, because I know he don't need it. So that's why I can't understand. For me personally, like it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Now I might tell you, damn, you got all my money. I'm lying. I got something left. You know what I mean? At least enough to buy a pack of gum. I'm lying. I can buy a lot of packs. I'm not giving you all my. Get the fuck out of here. Crazy. Let's be out your mind. Okay. So yeah, Seika. Nah, I don't care how cute you are. Ain't an ass that fat. Ain't no titties that big. You're juicy, voluptuous. Eh? Look, on that tip, I'm like, I really like Pepsi. But I can drink RC. I like Pepsi. But I can drink RC Cola. Well, yeah, fuck it. But that's just me. All right. TK Wright says she made sure that everything was paid and deposited the rest into a joint account. Interesting. TK Wright says she didn't need the whole check, but he was a recovered alcoholic. But there you have it. There you have it. There you have it. But if he's a recovered alcoholic, all right, well, fuck it. All right. Miko says, even with myself, I find it hard to budget with everything being expensive as shit. You'll find a way. Say it was a joke. Yeah, it's a joke, but that shit is real to some people. Niggas be tricking. But with all the tricking that you do, that's a dangerous trick. Like, yo, dude, you gave all your money? Yo, all your money, yo? Come on, son, you crazy? You gave Shorty your whole check? Are y'all even together like that? Because, you know, some niggas would do that shit just trying to impress a chick. Like, you gave her your whole check and you ain't all the way her man yet. Like, you basically paying an entrance fee to become her man. That pussy better be fire. It better lyrically have that 4th of July Memorial Day type shit in it. Pew, pew. And even then, TK right says, I always thought it was weird until I heard their reasoning and what they agreed on. And even then, I still was like, side eye. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Shit, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not comfortable with nobody knowing how much money I have anyway. But that's just me. But that's the same as my mom and my dad. So I got that honest. Like, nobody needs to know your exact balance. They need to know how much they need to know for their purposes with whatever's going on. But don't nobody need to know how much you have in all your accounts and under the mattress in a sock buried in the backyard. You know what I mean? X marks the spot. You need a map to get to it. All your money, shit. But this is a conversation, though, because there are plenty of men who believe in this shit. Give it a whole thing. Happy wife, happy life. Happy wife, happy life. They say it's a happy wife and it's a happy life. I say I must be dead what I said, because it ain't never going to go down like that. She ain't never going to be that happy because I'm the pappy. And I'm saying, since I'm the breadwinner, I'm going to make sure that I win every time. And I'm not on some stingy shit. You can get a lot, but you ain't getting the whole thing. Shit, I'm the king. And I'm the one that runs this kingdom up in this motherfucker. So you ain't going to be playing with me, check. And I'm a sucker. Yo, never that. Yo, it ain't going down. And I ain't trying to fuck around like that. My town is Philly. And that's where we don't do that type of shit. We get like a hustle money, but it has to go in the stash and make sure that you re-up. You see, this shit is going to be up. I don't know, son. I don't know, son. Troy Diesel says, I'm not going to be able to do it. Listen, this shit ain't about me, but I'm going to tell you right now, not only do you not need to know how much money I have, you don't even need to know how broke I am. Like, if I say I'm broke, just take it at face value. It could mean that I'm on 0. It could mean that I'm on 1,000. Because broke ain't the same thing to everybody. But just know that if I say I'm broke, that means I'm not where I want to be and I'm not comfortable. Well, it ain't comfortable in here. Ain't enough room in here. It's feeling stuffy in here. We need something going on in here. Turn the air on in here. Open a window in here. Well, we need to get some money up in here. You know, so, you know, I mean, it is what it is. But there are plenty of men who give their woman a whole check. And I've seen, like I said, I've seen it. The woman come up to the job and collect the envelope. You know what I mean? Everybody getting paid in the envelopes. Like, here's your envelope. Here's yours. You know what I mean? Homie envelope go to his lady. He wasn't even married to her. He wasn't even married to her, yo. But like I said, soon as he had that crack itch, he was like, give me my envelope. I'm like, but no. Give me my check. Give me my envelope. Oh, I'm like, all right, man. I mean, you worked for it. You worked for it. What could I say? Gave him his envelope. The look on his woman's face when she came up there to get that money and it wasn't there. I was like, man, this is gonna be a hell of a Friday night. Now the thing is, she was a recovering addict too. She's a recovering addict too. Well, she was at the time. So she knew what it was. Like, I got to keep my dude right. And I can't keep him right while he's still struggling. He ain't clean enough. He's still walking on calf legs. You know, that's Narcotics Anonymous talk for like when you still weak in your recovery. You're not strong enough to stand on your own. If you've ever seen a calf that's just been born, you know, them legs are skinny and they wobbly. So it's a lot of weight up top and a very little muscle mass on them legs. You know what I mean? Very little. Hit the like button, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Do it fast all of a sudden. Hit the like button. Hit the like. But yeah. So that's what we're talking about tonight. Men who give their entire paycheck, the whole thing. And I'm thinking, like, if we take the love angle, like, I feel like I could trust my woman. I love her and I can also trust her. So I know that if I give her my whole check, then she's going to distribute it correctly and I'm not going to have to worry about anything. Trust is a big thing. And I'm big on trust. Too many times, too many men have been with women that they trusted that they really couldn't trust. But they trusted them anyway. And it's amazing how much some good pussy can make a man start to trust. Like the two don't even go together. Juicy twat and trust. Juicy twat savings and loan. Mostly savings, because ain't no loans. Juicy twat savings and loans. Is this a business, a corporation, or is it an LLC? Is this a corporation with mad employees, or is this a LLC? Yeah, man. Giving your woman the entire check. Yeah, man. I don't want to diss nobody. I don't want to, because a lot of men do that, like these cats on the internet throw the word simp around like that shit is but, if, or and. They quick to call somebody a simp. Oh, you a simp, you a simp. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers still praising your father, Kevin Samuels. Ain't nothing wrong with being nice to your woman and accepting her flaws, as long as they are acceptable flaws. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, Kevin Samuels told me I ain't gotta like no bitches. Like, is that what he said? I mean, kinda. He kinda said that. He said that, if she got multiple kids, multiple baby mom, you ain't gotta be nice to her. Okay. Especially if she over 40. Okay. Is that what he said? And not so many words. Like, let me go watch this Kevin Samuels shit. See what Kev talking about. Oh, shit. You know what? Kev is kind of saying that shit. He is kind of telling... He is kind of literally telling these bitches that they not worthy of somebody wifing them or liking them. Because they got multiple kids, multiple baby fathers. And they got a little weight on them. They got a little thickness to them. And they don't make 6 figures. All right. All right. Your father, Kev. Rest in peace, Kev. Rest in peace, Kev. Troy says, juicy twat and trust. LOL. Is that a law firm? Nah, man. This is a juicy twat. Savings and loan. Savings and loan. What up, Tori 2200? Tori, what's good? Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And Shirley Cheryl, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Cheryl, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Now, look, a lot of y'all may not have ever seen this. Some of y'all may have never seen a man fork over his entire paycheck. And I understand. You know what I mean? It's quite a spectacle. It's quite a spectacle. See if I got one of my old checks in here. Let me see. I know I saw one the other day. Hold on. Hold on. So I saw one. Oh, there go one. Yeah. This is an old joint. All right. Here we go. Cause I don't fuck around with direct deposit. I literally still request a paper check. So here's my check. Now, I'm not gonna turn the check around because y'all niggas will go back, watch this video later and be like, yo, that's what you make? I'm not fucking with you like that. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to play them games. But here's my check. Look, pay stub. Oh, shit. So, yeah. Tired paycheck. Y'all see, I already signed it. Sign it again. So I'm going to sign this bitch over. This is for my John. This is for my John. Let her have that whole John. The whole thing. She get the whole thing, man. The whole thing. She gets it all. She getting all that shit. Why she getting all of it? She getting all of it. She getting all of it. Fuck out of here. Short, listen, man. What Tretch say? What did Tretch say back in the day, even though he violated? He said, this is all my hair, mon frere. I wouldn't cut it for the biggest buttocks out there. Well, he cut it off when he met Pepper. And she didn't have such a fat ass. Okay, so maybe he was telling the truth. Pepe Frogs. Pepe Frog says, bro, that's a hell of a beard. You know, y'all be making me take a closer look at my beard. Like, what do y'all be talking about? I mean, I know y'all know other, silver beard cats, in the hood, around the way, somewhere in your life. My man, Jay Sloan. Jay Sloan is all up in the house. What up, my dude? I'm going to start calling Jay Sloan King of the Hill. King of the Hill. He know what I'm talking about. King of the Hill. My dude. Hold on. And he says, okay. Good. He talk about Kevin. Mr. Samuels. What up, Cheryl Halsey? What's good? Jay Sloan says, nah, Kev was just was just saying this to women. If you're a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10, Stop thinking you deserve a man who's dating market value is way higher than yours. Just find a man who's a 405. That's not what he said a lot of times, Jay. He was going, yeah, nigga used to be going in. He used to be going in. Yo, he the one who got all of these bum ass niggas running around here talking about some high value woman or high value man. What the fuck is a high value man? To Kevin Samuels, it's just a motherfucker who make a lot of money. I mean, that's basically what he reduced it to, because he ain't say nothing. You know, he talking about the women with the weight and the kids and all that kind of shit. He ain't say none of that shit about no niggas. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know that he used to be coming at the dudes when he first came out, and then he realized, like, yo, coming at these chicks is getting mad clicks. But yo, he ain't never say that the dude had to be in shape, that he had to be in the gym, that he had to have his shit together. He based it, that shit, a high value man, that's a man who got that paper. That's your high value right there. You got the paper, you high value. But women, in Kev's mind, to be a high value woman, you had to be child free, baby dad free. You had to be underweight. You know what I mean? You damn near had to be his weight and have a suit on. I don't know. Kev was different. But I know he was just doing, I mean, he had to put on a show. You know what I mean? He was getting money. I got it. But the motherfuckers, they took his shit at face value. They took his shit literally, and they still do. Oh, I wish Kev could come back. Kev, things was different when Kev was here. No, what motherfucker? He was an internet star. Come on, man, stop it. I mean, he had 5 million. But get ahead with all that. Get ahead with all that. All right. Troy says he was very ignorant and disrespectful. He had his moments. He had his moments. Yo, he used to be breaking them chicks down. I used to be like, I don't know, Kev. She look kind of all right to me. Yeah, I mean, let me get your throwaways. Let me get, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You trimming the fat. Let me get the skins. You cutting too much. You cutting too much skin off. Yo, let me get the skins, man. Shit. You too busy making bitches mad. Let me make some of them happy. I know I want to make her happy. The last one you cussed out. Let me make her happy. You know what? Kevin Samuels used to remind me. You know who he really reminded me of? No bullshit. He reminded me of a male Judge Judy. He reminded me of a male Judge Judy. You know how, like, on Judge Judy, even if you dead right, she gonna find a way to cuss at you or raise her voice at you, because it's all a show. So you ain't do nothing wrong. You the straight victim in this little small claims court. But she's still gonna be like, and you, madam, will never be even 1/10 as smart as I am. And it shows because you let him play you. Now I'm going to give you this $5,000. But yo, you dumb as dog food. It's so ordered. Don't piss on my leg and tell me that it's raining. It's so ordered. Madam. Sir. I hate Judge Judy. I do. I do not like Judge Judy. But he reminded me of a Judge Judy, because you was going to get it no matter what. You was going to get it. But then again, did Kevin Samuels used to do his show live? Was them Jones live, or did he have a chance to edit? Jay Sloan says, Kev was about that tough love. More tough, less love, though. Yeah. Bill Desmond, what's good, man? What's good? Jay, you agree? A male Judge Judy. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how I see it. That's how I see Bill Desmond said, judge who? Judy equals how? Exactly. And I felt like Kevin Samuels was putting on a show too. You know what I mean? I felt like he was putting on a show too. I'm like, you can't believe all of that shit. Like you know what I mean? He used to be shitting on. I ain't never see. Now, granted, I didn't watch him like other people watched him. I didn't live on his every word like a lot of people did. So I can't comment on 100 of his videos, but some people can. You know, so admittedly, you know what I mean, I'm falling down on the job when it comes to fully being able to critique Kevin Samuels. But let's get back to this whole giving a woman your whole paycheck. I know Kevin Samuels would not approve of that. He would not approve of any man giving away his whole paycheck. And I know Kevin Samuels' checks was fat. You know what the illest part was? You know, on top of how people shitted on him so bad in his death, but one thing they noted was like, yeah, and the woman that he was caught dead with wasn't even the type of woman that he was saying was high value. He died in front of a bum ass John. He was smutting the bum. Yo, what's going on? He was dropping the cum. Yo, heart attack. Yo, he was getting his back. Art shit was crazy out here after dark. Yo, couldn't handle the whole weight. Massive heart attack. Yo, where the fuck you at, Kev? Manifest reality. What's good, my dude? What's good? Elijah Joseph, how y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling? So we talking about men who give their woman their entire check. The whole thing, man. The whole thing. You know, the whole. I want some, any. Give me the whole. I said, give me the whole. That's ting. Give me the whole ting. I need a little something. Yo, give me everything. I just want to say one thing. So, time for some transparency, my peoples. Which one of y'all men out here have done it? I don't care if you've only done it one time. You ever give your woman your whole check? Come on, man. I'm not Kevin Samuels. I'm not going to judge you that way. I'm going to say, man, you must be out of your fucking mind, but I'm not going to base your whole character off of it. Now, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Manifest reality says, with all breadwinners, I want to collect and save. I wanted to collect and save. Okay. Well, Kim's Wims, what up, Kimmy? What's good? What's good? Indianapolis all up in the house. Good to see me some you, always. And Manifest also says, even at an early age, my mind was like, no, we need to save. I've never been comfortable spending all my money either. Nah, like the closer I get to zero, I was just talking about this the other day. The closer I get to zero, the less I spend. The closer I get to zero, the slower I'm going to spend. Like, you're not going to get me to zero. It'll be hard as fuck. But there are some things in life there are plenty of things in life that I'm not in understanding of. There are things that I don't know of. There are things that I haven't been taught yet. There are concepts that I haven't grasped. There are things that all of you could teach me and show me that I have no conception of. And maybe there's more to giving a woman your whole check than I'm aware of. Just because I don't do it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be done or can't be done. Manifest says, my dudes was breaking me off $1,000 a day back in the late 80s. Oh, you was getting money. Oh, you was getting money. Oh, you was getting money out there in them streets. Oh, you was, yeah, in the late 80s. Oh, 1,000 a day. Oh. And you know how much cake that was in the 80s. A G? A day? It's 365 days in a year? Shit. 365,000 was way over a million in today's market with the markup. And he says, it helped because I lost my husband. I have no understanding for these folks today. Oh, okay. Kim Swim says, am I experiencing a deja vu? Didn't we cover this topic before? No, we did not. No. If we did, I would have called it a part 2. We never straight up made this a topic, giving your woman your entire check. Now, we touched on it the other day, but we ain't touching on it now. We talking about it. We going straight all up in there. Yeah, that's why you got deja vu. Because you would say, I remember when you said what you said, and that was different than what we said.
You have a call from whom?
With whom am I speaking to on the Daily Go-Getimism show?
Oh, how you doing, sir? You are partaking with a conversation with Troy of Diesel by way of Philadelphia, PA. Brother of son of 752.
I'm enthralled to have the opportunity to speak with you. This is wonderful beyond measure.
Well.
Yeah, this is
all of the endeavor for me too, so.
Well, how are you today?
Well, good day, mate. I just wanted to say, maybe in my younger years, I might have gave overabundance of money to the female persuasion, but I still was left with some funds in my pocket to make sure that I could either put in my savings account or be able to take care of some things during the week within myself. But what takes me out about the female persuasion is that when you give them overabundance of money, and then you take care of the miscellaneous, and then you help with taking care of the kids, like haircuts for the haircuts for the boys, and do that part. And then when you want to run low with your money that you had left over after giving the majority of your check, when you go to her and say, let me get a couple of hours, you know what she say? Where your money at?
Man, listen. Now, let's think about this in reverse for a second. If a woman gave, let me put it this way. Outside of pimping, I couldn't see a woman giving a man her whole check. Could you see that?
A woman is barely, a woman lives by the terms a man is supposed to.
Wait a minute, hold on. What, you horse or something? You got a cold?
Huh?
You got a cold or something?
No, that's just my sexy voice. That's my very white voice.
Yo,
take good care.
I'm about to bang on you. I'm about to tear your rim down.
When I take my medicine, it somewhat dries out my throat sometimes.
All right, I got you.
Yeah.
All right. So what was you saying?
And it just takes me out because, when you do, there's nothing wrong. Like, if everything is running low and she's able to budget it the way she budgets, then maybe you might say, well, this check, I'm going to give her the whole one. But you also got to have money already in your account. Don't just give her your whole check if you don't have no money in your account. You know what I'm saying? You just can't do it that way. But at the end of the day, you know, everybody relationship is different. Everybody thinks differently.
Well, that's true. That's true. And I don't have no problem with, the differences. I'm just trying to understand how this would work. You know what I mean?
Now, let me ask you a question. Did Pop train you to feel that way and think that way? Or is that just your way of thinking?
My dad had a motto that he said every time he either left a person or he gave you money. First of all, every time he gave me some money, he would always tell me not to spend it in one place. Don't spend all your money in one place. And I didn't even really understand what the fuck that meant. Like, what if the one place got what I want? Like, you know what I mean? But later on I realized he was saying like, yo, you don't have to match your Nike hat with your shoe, with the sneakers and like you don't have to give one company all your money, dog. Like I understand that's what y'all Philly niggas do, but it's dumb. And y'all actually tease motherfuckers who yeah, I mean, think about it. We tease motherfuckers who don't do that. It's the dumbest shit.
Well, no, it's not. Son.
Yeah, no, it is. It is because you ain't making no money.
You cannot wear an Adidas hat or Adidas sweatsuit with some Nike sneakers.
Well, what if it all match? What if you
It don't correlate together, so you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's the law.
So be fiscally irresponsible, but match.
I think it's an amendment for real.
Yeah, it's in the Philly handbook of dumbass motherfuckers who can't keep no money. But anyway, but yeah, and the other thing he used to always say was work hard and save your money. Work hard and save your money. My pop was a hustler at heart. He was not on no broke shit. He ain't play that. So when his money got low, he gonna start hustling. You know what I mean? Now he wasn't never no street hustler. It was all legal. But he gonna make sure that, for a man that had that many kids, he had to keep his cake right. It wasn't an option. Wasn't an option.
Did he ever have to go in the closet and pull out the whole shit?
He didn't. I'm just like that's what I'm saying. Like I said, it was all legal hustles. He never. He was a gambler. He was a gambler, but it was all craps. It was all craps and blackjack. He ain't fucking around. Like he wasn't about that street life. But one thing he was never do. One thing he was never going to do. My pop actually told me. He said, and I'll never forget this shit. He said, you don't give no woman all your money. He said, in all reality, if you're a man that's worth anything, you should be getting her money. He was on some pimp shit. Even though he was the distributor, he was the provider, but his mentality was like, shit, I'm gonna provide, but I provide for the power. In other words, since I'm paying for everything, everybody do what the fuck I tell them to do. So he wasn't secretive about that. Like, this is my shit. Y'all under me. You gonna play your position because I pay for everything. So let's get this straight. You don't want to be part of this? Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? You just don't get paid for it. But if I'm paying for everything, it's gonna go the way I say it's gonna go, and I'm responsible. But the other thing was, he was like, if she have a come up or something like that, she ain't gonna tell me I can't get mine when I've been, you know what I mean, I've been paying for everything. So when she gets something, she get to keep everything. No, if I need it in order to flip it and get some more, yeah, give me that. Give me that. He was definitely about that life. So yeah, give somebody an old check or let somebody know all the money you got. That was. You might as well be telling them to go to hell.
When the people I seen do that in my life was my grandfathers. But I already knew my grandfathers always kept some chunk in the account. And I already knew one of my grandfathers kept money in the account. And because every time I turned around, he had me going to play this lottery.
Okay.
And I was a kid, and you're not even supposed to be a kid playing the lottery. But I played this lottery, and when he hit, he didn't give me none of that damn money. So I know he had a lot of money. I think the legs work.
Yeah, I hear you. So,
but that's the thing about it. You learn. That's why I asked you, did Pops teach you that? Because, if you don't have a man in your life, or some type of man in your life that would teach you something or give you thoughts of how to handle something like that, you might really just go and thinking that I better give her this chunk. Like I told my son that. I said, you cannot just go and give your baby mom a whole check. And then when y'all go to an argument, she like, well, you can get out the house. And then you upset because you ain't got the money when you giving her all your money. That's not how it goes. That's not how it goes. And then I had to tell him, if you got Mel coming to their house and everything like that, and you paying bills at that house, and it's in your name, you don't have to leave that house. I had to explain that to him. But at the end of the day, you giving her your whole check, and then you walking around and you upset. And then she say the baby need Pampers. You just gave her your whole check.
See,
no, that's not how it goes. That's not how it goes, son.
As a young boy, I'm surprised that you have to explain that to him, because I'm like, I'm trying to imagine me giving away my whole check, or even paying my bills down to zero left, and feeling good about myself. I'm trying to, especially as a young boy, like, I would think this would be an easy thing to teach a young boy. Like, yo, don't give her all your fucking money, you stupid. You give her enough.
He's 33.
Okay. So, all right, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, if you know. All right, when he gives his girl all his money, right? What does he feel if he's told you? What does he feel has it? How does he feel it has benefited him?
He feels as though he's being a provider. He feels as though that he's being the man. And I can respect that. But you also have to be understanding that you're putting the work in, but you need to have an account. You need a rainy day account for yourself. You need a protection plan for yourself, considering how she is towards you at times. But I can't blame her for the way she is towards him, because of the shit, the way he come out of his mouth and say shit out of his mouth and disrespect her. Something that I would never say. The shit that you say to a woman, that when I heard some of the shit he said to her, I was like, you never heard me talk like that. I don't give a fuck. If you say, how do you want to speak out your mouth, you speak out your mouth. But I'm going to always conduct myself like a gentleman and a man.
All right,
if you say something out your mouth, that's that point, then I'm going to walk away, because I know what I'm capable of doing. I know what I'm capable of doing to a man. So me putting my hands on a woman would be worse. I don't want to do nothing like that.
Wait, we ain't there. Okay.
Oh no, we're not going there. I'm just saying, you gotta always have other cash in a different account for yourself. Every relationship should have a damn personal account and a joint account. And the joint account basically is for bills.
I don't know about the joint account. I don't know if I'm feeling that.
The joint account is not touched by you. The joint account is touched by, like, my joint account was touched by my wife. Our joint account was touched by her, because that's where the bills went at. So when bill time comes, they just take it out of their account. She already had it set up where if the gas was coming out the account, when he's ready to come, it just takes it right out the account.
All right. So, like, the whole joint account thing sounds like a noble idea. And I've heard so much about this whole joint account shit. But every joint account I've heard about in every situation, whether they was married, going together, fiance, whatever, that shit don't be going right. Because motherfucker, it's always one person that fuck up the joint account. You know what I mean? Somebody always, but it's true. You know what I mean? So I'm like, why we need a joint account? We don't need that shit. You know what we do need? We need trust and we need responsibility. So this is how I pay my bills. I got all of my bills listed. So I know if I can pay all of my bills with one check, and then the other check that I get, you know how you get 2 checks a month, you get paid every other week, right? So, so some months it feel like you got paid 3 times because the first pay might have been in the first 5 days of the month or whatever. But anyway, so I don't pay my bills as they come because that's dumb. And it means you're not really managing your money. You're not managing. You should know all of your bills for the month because those are your monthly expenses. So the same way you should know how much money you make per month, even if you work overtime, you should know your base pay because that's your primary income. So if you make, and I'm talking about your take home, not that shit, you know what I mean, that the IRS bomb every check. But you should like whatever your take home pay is. So let's say your take home pay is $900. So you know your $900 a week. So that's going to be $1,800 on your check. You get that twice. So your take home pay is $3,600. That's how much money you have to play with. You should have all of your bills laid out from A to Z. And I mean everyone. I don't give a fuck if you paying for just like this little, like I said, here's all your money right here. In your phone, all of these apps, that's where your money is. Because more than likely you got an electric company app, a gas company. This is the age we live in. All of your money is right here. So it should be easy as fuck for you to know exactly how much money you need to pay your bills every month. And you even got a calculator on there. Plus you got Microsoft Office. You got the spreadsheet with the Excel. You got an Excel spreadsheet right in there to calculate all your money. So you know how much money you have. So whether between a couple, it shouldn't be no, well, I'm not sure how much money you don't pay as you go. And when you go to buy something, when you go make an expensive purchase, you don't know how much it's going to cost before you go and get it. No wonder you're going to get shitted on because you didn't do your homework. So and you're home. So all the work you do should be the homework. You don't need no joint account. What you need is, all right, baby. I need to know all of your bills and here are all of mine. This is how much I make. This is how much you make. Now, we're going to distribute this and make sure that this is going to be the portion that I pay. Let's say I pay this portion. You pay this portion. Now, if I'm going to make sure that my portion is paid, you damn sure better make sure yours is paid because I'm taking over the most of it. But I'm not doing the joint account thing. We're not doing that because that's a clear way to create financial problems in your relationship. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, it works for some people and that's what they want to do. Cool. But I'm not with the joint account shit.
Well, it worked for me. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is that, like Moana was saying, he's the same way he thinks. It's the same way I'm thinking. The same way Moana was thinking that you got an account, she got an account, you have a joint account, and everything automatically comes out of that joint account. When it builds up, you don't even have to worry about it. Even down to the credit cards, everything comes out that joint account. That's your credit cards, her credit cards. You know, any bills, it all comes throughout that. You know, so at the end of the day, there's nothing, you know, but to give your whole checkup, you know, that would be asinine. You know, I mean, kitty cat good, but a whole check good? It ain't whole check good. I gotta say this shit like a old grandma.
Yeah, okay.
All these things, let me ask you something, son. Did you ever, you and a woman ever live together?
Have I ever lived with her? Yeah, twice.
I never knew that. That's why I was asking.
Twice. Yeah, yeah. It was what it was. And we didn't have no money problems either time. The first time, I made kind of like a lot more money than she did. She was young. So, you know, she was going to school. So I let her just basically keep her money and, you know what I'm saying? And go, you know, get a little computer joint. She did real well. You know, she doing well for herself and all that shit. But at the second time, I think she made more money than me. Because she was a hairstylist. You know what I mean? She was getting cake. But one thing, she ain't never let me know how much money she had. Exactly. And she was a little slick motherfucker. So she admitted later on, like, yeah, you know, I used to let you go ahead and pay for this and I will keep my money. She admitted it. She admitted it.
Kim, you ever let your man know how much money you was making, Kim?
So yeah. So but regardless of whether I live with somebody or not, I can't have a situation where money is an issue in any situation I'm in. It can't be that way. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, for sure, we didn't get together based on money. I ain't never paid for pussy a day of my life in any form. I ain't never paid straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like an even exchange. Like, here, I give you 50, you suck my, and I ain't never do no shit like that. And I've been to Amsterdam and I ain't do it. And if I ain't do it in Amsterdam, I'll be goddamn if I do it in North Philly. But anyway, or Mount Airy or West Philly or West Oak Lane. But anyway, but you, in order to conduct yourself that way, you gotta have that mentality. You gotta really believe that it's going to make things right. So I think we need to have a little talk about trust and how deep trust can go. Now, I know for a fact that a lot of men have been with women that they really didn't trust. They may have trusted them in some ways, but when if you made a pie graph, a total pie graph of trust, the really important trust wouldn't be the lion's share of the graph. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Like, and that's a pretty good exercise. So if I was to ever consider giving my woman all of my money, then that pie graph would have to be like around 90% trust of her. And I've never really been with a woman that I couldn't trust. Wait a minute. Let me not say that shit.
You have a call.
Hold on.
From.
Yes. As a matter of fact, let me bite the fuck out of my tongue. I have definitely been with a chick that I didn't trust as far as I could fucking throw. But it taught me a lot. And one thing about that relationship is it wasn't based on no money. You know, she had a lot of hoe residue left in her. And you know what I mean? And
a lot of what?
Hoe residue. And she was gonna make sure She was gonna make sure that she spread it.
Oh my God.
She was.
Not gum residue, whole residue.
Nah, it was whole residue. And I ain't gonna front, yo, this was a bad joint. This was a bad, you know what I mean? She was a bad joint, but I learned a lot from that. Like, and you have to really start thinking to yourself, like, what's the worth?
I didn't heard a lot, son. I've heard a lot of shit in my life, but I'm going to have to keep the whole residue. I want to put that on a t-shirt.
Oh, that ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Every woman, shoot, every woman done had a whole moment. You know what I mean? When they just because you was a hoe for
moment is different. We talk about whole residue.
Well, whole residue is what's left over when you finish hoeing. So because it's residue, it ain't over. It's just like how we listen. The same way as you smoke a joint today, and that shit is still in your system 3 weeks later. That's the same way hoe residue is. You know what I mean? Just because you finish hoeing, it takes
residue just let you know the hoeing ain't over yet.
Listen, you may have stopped hoeing, but if I test you 3 weeks later, I don't know. You might still come up positive. So
like something that like Bishop Magic would say. My hoes they still got some whole residue on.
Listen, alcohol comes out of your system 24 hours. Coke, 48 hours. Weed is the only thing that be hanging around with you like, yo, what's up? Yeah, I'm still here. Shit.
How long do whole residue hang around?
It depends on how hoe the hoe is. But anyway, but yeah, the bottom line is this. When you start talking about trust and the level of trust that a man can have for a woman, if you're going to give a woman your whole check, then that pie graph that I was talking about, you better have trust in the 90th percentile to do that. Men do it and they don't have that much trust. There's a difference between trust and faith. And a lot of niggas got faith, but they ain't got trust. So they are literally hoping that they woman don't play them. But they know they can't trust her, because if you could trust her, then you know your woman ain't gonna play you. Now, how do you know that your woman ain't gonna play you? How do you get trust for your woman in the 90th percentile? Your woman will show you whether you can trust her or not. You will put her through a battery of tests that she will make sure you know. Like sometimes if a woman is doing too much to try to gain your confidence, think about it. That's exactly what a con man does. You know what I mean? But a woman that's really trustworthy, she just keep digging in consistently. Guess what? Every time you need her, she's there consistently. Every time you want her, she's there consistently. Every time you're thinking about her, she's there consistently. There's a difference. A con person, man or woman, is only going to be there in the beginning, trying to set you up, lining your dumb ass up to gain confidence. But you can't trust them. You can't trust them.
We need to be quiet because you preaching to me.
Shit, this ain't. I be giving you the easy fucking math, but we be missing the fucking class. We too busy cutting the class. This ain't no hard shit. Once you had a good woman in your life, that shit fucking affects you for the rest of your life. But too many of us have been putting the good label on some fucking, literally on bad bitches. Maybe bad bitches is more than just looks. Maybe they truly are bad. And I mean bad meaning bad, not bad meaning good. Hookah. You know what I mean? There it is. But yeah, seriously. Once you've experienced what a good woman does, it make it hard for them chicks that's just running game or doing that lame shit. Ain't like that. So more than likely, a good woman ain't going to judge you or calculate you based on what you have to provide. Because in order for her to be so good, she got to see that you good too. You know, I don't know if Archie Bunker ever gave Edith all his money. I don't know. He was blue collar or whatever. He had enough to keep his household going and house two adults, like, you know what I mean, with a baby, you know, Mike and Gloria and all of that shit. But the reason I brought up All in the Family is because Edith was a good woman. I don't know if Archie was a good man, but Edith considered Archie to be a good man, which allowed her to stay being a good woman. You understand what I'm saying? Now, of course, this is just a TV example, but if you look deeper into it, there were more messages going on. You know, because you look at Edith like, you know, looking at everything in life through rose-colored glasses, not really that smart, whatever, you know, but very nice and everything. And you wonder, how could she be with somebody like Archie? Somebody that's so judgmental and so racist and so ignorant and all of that kind of shit. But you got to understand, she could see, she could literally see the God in him. So even though he was rude to her sometime and all that, deep down inside, he knew that she was a good woman and he wasn't going to do shit to fuck it up. So in a situation where a man gives his woman his whole check, he better see the good in her. Because if he just paying for some pussy, nigga, you could have some left. Plenty. And if you only getting pussy every time you get paid, then, I mean, you better pay attention to your arrangement. Sure, you can't get nothing on your down days, your broke days. What happened when you pay all the bills? You know what happened after what you don't get no after Christmas pussy? You like I'm like, yo man, out of.
That's the case.
Oh shit!
You better.
Hold on.
Did somebody just call in?
Wait a minute, Kim is on. Yo. Damn, this thing ain't loud enough for me to hear you. But go ahead. What up, my dude? Wait.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Jay Sloan. What's up, son?
Man, you already know what it is. You know what I mean? What you got to say about this topic?
So you talking about Archie Bunker, and this is probably sad to say, but it made me think of my mom's parents.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was kind of how they were. But to the topic, my grandfather always worked. The housewife.
Uh-huh.
But he was bad with money.
Okay.
So he would give her most of his check. Now I say most, not all. Because what he told me was, as a man, if you give a woman all of your check, even if you trust her, even if you know she has the household's best interest at heart, you will not feel like a man, because then you're going to have to go to her and ask for any little thing you want to buy.
Ooh.
And he's like, that is just something that is going to make her disrespect you, and it's going to make you disrespect yourself. So he would give her maybe 90% of the check, and she was good with money.
Okay.
And, you know, she took care of everything, but he kept at least a little bit for himself. And in my opinion, most dudes who don't have that trust, they don't have a 50-year marriage, who do that, it's just transactional. Basically paying for pussy. Yeah, that's basically what it is. They're afraid she's going to leave if they don't fork over the cash.
Yeah.
So they fork over. And that's kind of how that goes. Because you really do have to have that trust, and you have to know that that person has your best interest at heart.
That makes nothing but sense to me.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And anything opposite, you're like, what you doing?
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. You're afraid she's going to jet. She's going to find somebody else if you don't pay up. And that's what those dudes are doing. And I think of my own situations, and I just realized that listening to this show, most of my situations where I had serious relationships, I was married, living with people, they actually, I hate to say it, but kind of gave me their money. Because I was always the one better with money. So they wouldn't come home and say, here's my check. But it would go into an account, and then I'd say, okay, we're going to do this, and, you can have, $200 this week, whatever.
Okay.
And that's always been the way it's going. And again, I try to reverse it. I'm like, yeah, I look at my grandfather. I can see how some guys have a situation where it makes sense. I think most of these niggas are simps, man. just being honest.
Listen, man, I mean, I can't see paying for your own emasculation. That sounds problematic to me.
It is problematic, but they do it.
I know.
They do it. I don't know. You see, me and you, we had certain types of dads. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
We had certain types of fathers.
Wasn't playing that shit.
Like this shit. Yeah, you can't even sit. I think your dad's been gone, what, 4 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's something else. But I know for a fact there are times in life you're approaching a situation and you can hear his voice.
What?
Right? You can hear his voice.
Loud and clear.
Right. You know what he would say. So even after they're gone, it's the future was in you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had to say this. So there's certain types of dudes, man, they feel like they need to pay. It's transactional. And usually I think it's for good reason. I don't think they're wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they're right.
If you have created that type of situation for yourself, then it's only right that you should play in it, because it's going to be hard for you to understand any other kind of way, because that's what you know. You're going to go with what you know until something blows that all apart. But it ain't easy. It ain't as easy to start all over from whatever routine you have gotten used to over a period of time.
No, habits in mind are a bitch. Like, they're really hard to shake. But I also think there's another thing. Like, I can speak for you, I can speak for me, and there's a lot of dudes in this situation. I never had trouble with girls. Like, meeting girls. I might have trouble in relationships with them, but I never had trouble meeting them. Never had trouble pulling them.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of guys who did, and it wasn't until they started making money that they actually started getting attention.
Yeah.
So I think for them, that was always their hook. They didn't have any game. They had no game.
Right.
They didn't have anything that was going to attract them to her. They didn't have charisma. So money was always the thing. So they get in a relationship, and that woman often is getting in a relationship with them because they spot early on, this dude's just going to give me his money. And, from there, it's not going to change.
It's not. It's not.
And I'm about to hang up because I need to continue working.
Yo, I appreciate you calling in, my dude. Appreciate it. Thanks for the wisdom.
I never heard anybody go that deep on Archie Bunker. You said that she saw the God in him.
She did. Think about it. She hardly ever got mad at him. Hush it,
I'm gonna hang up and I'm gonna just play this. By the way, Glenn Miller played.
No doubt. Sorry to make the hip hooray. It's my shit.
Like he was something. He didn't give her his money because he didn't even give her.
All right, man. I'll holler at you later. Good looking.
You didn't see that again, Kel?
All right, man. Peace. Miss Wims.
Yes.
I thought I heard you mumbling something over there on the sideline. Could y'all hear him?
Let me say it clearly.
Hold on. Could you hear him when he was on the line?
Yeah, we heard him.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Cause I had to move him over to like closer to y'all mic, but I don't know how well it was picking it up.
Oh yeah, I could hear him.
All right, cool.
It was a little distance, but I could hear him.
Okay. So now what were you saying?
I said Archie Bunker was trash. I said he didn't give Edith his money because he didn't even give her his respect.
Oh, I don't know what show you was watching.
No, he didn't respect her. You kidding me?
I mean, you could definitely say he didn't respect her. I'll give you that. But but he loved her though.
Oh, sure.
So,
He didn't respect her.
Sometimes you don't get either. Sometimes you don't get either one.
I'm just waiting to hear, because Moana said let Kilms talk. And then he said Kilms was the pimping.
I was not, and I don't like that title at all. I don't even like that connotation. I think it's no.
All right, Kim,
So
just go ahead.
To answer your question, Troy. Huh?
State your case.
What question?
You asked me a question if I ever told my income. So, yes to some, no to others. And not no because I just chose not to, but no because they didn't want to sit at the table and have those discussions. You just take care of everything. We good. And that's what it was. It was never like, okay, this is what I have, this is what you have, let's do it like this. It was always, you just take care of everything.
Okay. So Kim, your position is you think it's cool for a man to give his woman his whole check or no?
I can't say it's cool or not. It's just what works for those relationships. Each relationship is different. I've never had a relationship where I lived in the same house with a guy and he didn't give me his paycheck. And so the conversation is whole paycheck. I would never say anybody gave me their whole paycheck. Probably 90%, but never the whole thing. But they did give me a bulk of it to take care of business because I'm good at that.
Okay.
And I would take care of business. Even if things were tight for whatever reason at that time, I was going to make shit shake, so we always had. And they trusted that I would do that, and I did.
Are you trustworthy?
I think I am. I mean, who's going to say, no, I'm not trustworthy?
Well,
I think I'm trustworthy.
You actually took way longer than I thought. You know what I mean?
She did, Paul.
And you said, I think I am. What does that mean?
Because I believe I am. I think I am. I know I am, but I mean, I don't know. I've never stolen that from anyone.
This is what happened. Mr. Sun 752 asked you, are you trustworthy?
And I said, I think I am because I think I am.
3.5 seconds went by before you said I am.
It was a significant. I don't know if it was 5 seconds, but it was a significant pause.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do what?
Let's do it y'all way. So y'all want to play this like I'm making up some shit online?
No, it ain't. No. It ain't about that.
We talk. Y'all had an hour and a half. Let me talk.
I just want to
shut her mic off. Shut her mic off. Cut her mic off.
I've stolen a penny from any man. Ever.
You stole no money
I've never left a man without, wait a minute, I've never left any man I've ever dealt with as my lover, as my friend, as anything without any of his needs met, ever. I have never been irresponsible with the responses they left me with, the responsibility they left me with. As a matter of fact, there was a guy who was boyfriend, my lover, my nothing. He was just a friend. And when he did his dirt, he brought his money to me to take care of, to watch over, to put up. So that's the reason why. They know that they can trust that I'm going to take care of business, that I'm going to do what needs to be done, and they didn't have to worry about anything. Even if we were on bad terms, I'm not going to let anybody go without. That's point blank, period, because that's the kind of family I come from. And because, and again, keep in mind, almost every relationship I've been in, it's been with somebody who's been a friend of mine since the 80s or the 70s or the 90s. And then we decided to be in a relationship eventually, or we have been in a relationship twice, and this relationship part didn't work. So that could be, and I've always known them, and our families knew each other, and they knew the family, and I knew theirs. So that could get in a relationship.
Hold on, Kim. We hold. You gotta do something about your phone because we missing a word. We words redacted. We having words redacted from your statement. Like every 4 or 5 words in your sentence. You gotta do something
like
with your phone.
Like it's part of the Epstein file.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That shit getting redacted. I need to hear the unredacted version of what you talking about.
Oh, wait a minute, it's because my phone is hot. Sorry, guys.
All right.
I need to replace it, but I refuse to. Sick of these phone companies. Sorry.
All right, so let me
understand how I feel on music night with this right here, Kim.
So let me clarify something. Let me clarify something. By the way, y'all, please hit the like button. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. But please just give me that thumbs up. Give me that thumbs up. I appreciate it. It helps the channel. The channel needs help. I appreciate all I can get, any and all of that I can get. But Kim, let me clarify something. When I asked, are you trustworthy? I'm not just talking about as far as stealing from somebody or stabbing somebody in the back. When I talk about trust and being trustworthy, I'm talking about a certain level of integrity. You know what I mean? Like when you can trust a person, you know that you don't have to have them in front of you in order for them to do the right things. When you trust a person, you understand, you know that the two of you have an understanding and y'all are on the same page, even if y'all disagree about certain things, but y'all on the same page as far as y'all integrity and y'all respect for each other. So when I ask you, are you a trustworthy person? You may very well be, but I just wanted you to understand that I'm not reducing that to just sinister activity, because a lot of times we reduce trust to just unscrupulous behavior, or whether you would participate in that or not. But you have to understand, in order for somebody to trust you, that means that they have to be comfortable with you. That means that they have to feel safe with you. And feeling safe can't just be when you're in somebody's presence. Like I'd have to feel like I can feel safe that when you go out, that I know that you're going to come back giving me the same feeling as you were before you left. You understand what I mean? Like I don't have to worry about you dealing with my enemies, the ops, or another dude out there. And that's whether you are my lover or my friend. So trust is not as achievable as a lot of people think that it is, because they think about the surface shit so much. But when I talk about trust, I mean, like, I don't have to worry about you. Whether you are sitting there right in front of my face or whether you are out there in the world. You know what I mean? Only thing I have to worry about is if somebody violates you. I don't have to worry about you violating me in any way. So I don't have to hide my money and my jewelry and shit like that. I can leave you in my crib and not worry about you going through my drawers and searching and looking and all that kind of shit, because I can really trust you. You know what I mean? I can trust you with my feelings. You know what I mean? Being able to trust somebody with your feelings, that's not something that the majority of the public has. They don't be admitting it because they don't even fucking know that they supposed to be able to trust somebody with their feelings. They think that shit is just something that they see on TV or hear in the movies. You know what I mean? But when I know that I can trust you, that means I can talk to you about the crazy shit that go on in my head, and you not thinking that I'm losing my mind or that I'm corny or that I'm on some, you know what I mean, that I'm slipping in the darkness. That's what real trust is. You know, that's that safe, comfortable place that so many people never get a chance to be in, or pretend that they're in, even though they're nowhere near it and never even been close. So that's I just wanted to clear up what I meant by trust. Now I'm going to ask you again, and this time you're going to answer the right way. So, are you a trustworthy person, Kim? Are you trustworthy?
Of course.
Oh.
Of course. And so let's be exact on it. And that's because I don't trust everybody. And it's not because of any hurt from outside people. It's the internal hurt with family. So it makes me less trusting. However, when you are part of my circle, that's it. And if you break that in me and you break your place in the circle, it's very hard to get back in. So you don't even become an enemy. You just become non-existent to me, like you never lived or breathed. Because it takes a lot to get in my circle, or to get in my space. So because of that, I am not in everyone's space. I don't care how many people say, oh, Kim is my friend. You're saying I'm your friend. I'm not saying I'm your friend. I'm not saying you're mine. So for me to even call you friend or family, that's a lot. It takes a lot for that to happen, for it to be that close to the heart, invest in me. So because of that, of course, these guys trust me. And again, I say it could be because we've been friends first. We were friends before we ever dated. Like I told you, I'm a repeat offender. For the longest time, I've dated in the same pool because these are guys I dated at one time. We broke up and we dated again. Or we were friends and we tried to date and it didn't work. And then we waited a few years and tried again. So the friend part came first. So that could be the reason why they were so comfortable with allowing me to do this. And I've seen all of them in their most vulnerable places. I've seen them in ways no one else, even my ex now, when he's feeling whatever he's feeling about his current relationship, he'll reach out to me and he'll just say things about what's on his mind, what's bothering him, what's troubling him. And he has his moment and we talk it out and then he's good. And then he'll remind me, I wish we never, but it was what it was. So that could be it too. That could be the reason why. Again, because we were friends, we know each other. But even the one or two people who were not part of that group from the 70s or the 80s or the 90s, even those two people who penetrated and got in and found the place, they trusted me. Like one was to the point I could go to the bank and they thought I was his wife. And I'm like, they always call me Mrs. So-and-so and so. He said, don't you ever tell them different. So it was like that. And even to this day, I still have access to that bank account. And this guy knows I'm not going to do anything to it. And he still trusts me. He still calls me when he's having an issue. Like, that's the thing about it. And again, I know their families know me. And I'm still welcome in all of these homes. Even when I have a new relationship, they bring him too. So again, I think it's too because we're friends first. Like, that's it.
I just want to speak on something real quick. Indiana is different. Because Philly don't play that shit. You don't play that. But it's
not everybody in Indiana who's like that. Don't say Indiana because it's not everybody who's like that.
Well, sometimes you gotta just take it as a joke because I know everybody not like that, Kim. But Wanda told me that I should bring you my whole check. Tim, when I do get another check, Tim, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna cash out you the whole check. I ain't paying for Wanda.
I see Wanda said he should have married me. He's right. He should have married me. However, he did not ever want to be married because of things he experienced with his own parents. And I understood that. I understood what he saw.
I can't understand that. I cannot understand it. I can't understand. Well, let me give you my explanation. I think that's selfish to him because there's a cycle that you have to break. You can't allow that right there to make you so so jaded where you can experience a different outlook on what your mother and father did. You can't do that. You can't take that experience. You can't take that experience away from you. And that's just my opinion.
Mm.
You know, you can't do that.
But I think also too. Go ahead, and then I'll say what I'm going to say.
No, go ahead, talk. Go ahead, talk.
Well, I was going to say too, also, because he was my friend forever and a day, he knew for a long time that I never wanted to be married. And it was because I saw my grandmother mourn the loss of my grandfather for so long that I was like, I never want to experience that hurt. Like, I did not want to experience what my grandmother went through, mourning the loss of my grandfather. It just broke me, and I did not want to be married because of that, because I never wanted to experience that. And at the moment I thought about it, let me finish. At the moment I thought about it, I had a cousin who was getting ready to get, No,
so I was going to let you finish.
I was saying at the time I thought about it, I had a cousin who was going to get married, and she lost her fiance the morning of their wedding in a car accident. And then I started seeing her mourn, and I was like, I don't want to be married because I don't want to feel that kind of pain. So it could be because all those years he heard me say that, and he was around and he saw that. So maybe he was because he was accepting of that. There's no way I couldn't be accepting of all that he went through. Like, that would make me a hypocrite. So I understood where he was coming from, and he understood where I was coming from, and we were good with it. It was only everybody else who felt like, I need to get married and do such and such. Why? Why do we have to do that? Because you feel like we have to. So there's that.
Well, I respect that. There's not, like I said, on my opinion side of things, and that, like I said, you know, when you sit back and I'm listening to what you're saying, is that whether you married them or he was just whether you married him for many years or you was in a relationship with him for many years, that's his death, whether he's your husband or your boyfriend. So that pain is still going to be intense one way or the other. You know, I look at grandparents like this. You know, grandparents, when my grandfather passed away, I seen the pain that my grandmother went through as well. I looked at both of them as lovebirds. You know, when one lovebird died, the other don't take long for the other lovebird to die. You know, and the thing about it is that with that aspect, you know, it just you know, I just think that you cannot sit back and sacrifice love and sacrifice what you should be with what you should do because of other people's experiences, because you should want to experience that. You know, if you see, I know it's not part of the subject, son. You know,
I know y'all all over the place.
Let's say this.
I wouldn't give either one of y'all my old check.
Kids was being brought up, right? If you seen how kids were being brought up, you're not gonna say, I don't never want to have a fucking baby. So that's just, you know, that's just what you need to know, how I feel about that, you know. But I can respect where you're coming from, and I can understand that. What you really say, it's 4 o'clock?
Do you think we weren't happy, though? Do you think we didn't have love or happiness just because of
No, by no means. No, I didn't say that. But what I'm saying is that if that was used as a reason, I think that you shouldn't allow other situations to make a decision based on what you should do or experience. Certain things you should just, if you want to experience. Because what happened with another person might not happen with you. You understand what I'm saying? Just because mom and dad.
I understand that, but it took me a long time to get there, Troy. What I'm saying to you, I don't feel like that now, but I did feel like that for a long time. And it took me a long time.
I respect where you're coming from with that. I can understand that. I can understand. I was just giving my insight on how I feel about certain situations when they come about that. You know, but I respect what you're saying, and I understand it. I do.
Well, I don't know. It was just the way things were. Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
It's just the way things were. Eventually we were a little different, but like I would love to be married. Don't get it wrong. I would love to be married, but it took me a long time to be comfortable with that. And just like you said, would you say you don't want to have kids? I didn't want to have kids. But then I had my son, and that changed. So,
So, all right. So, like, what me and Jason was talking about in the chat, we was talking about how, so many people get married and they don't have the level of trust. I mean, if we stay talking about a man giving his woman his entire check, there's so many people. What the fuck is that? There's so many people who have given their entire check to their spouse or whatever. Well, let's since we're talking about men, there have been plenty of men who have given all of their money, all of their whatever to a woman that they never really reached a high level of trust for. And like I was saying, they may have had faith in her, but they never got to a level where they had trust in her because they knew that she was moving funny. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, it's like paying your tithes. You don't know that paying your tithes is going to bring you good fortune, but you have faith that it will in some type of ways, like trickle down economics. You know what I mean? That shouldn't be the way it is in your household. But when you start talking about this whole giving a woman your entire check thing, like I said, I've known people that was on drugs or had a gambling problem, whatever. So it was really the best way. It was really the best way because if they was going to be together, the only way that they could really keep a roof over their head and maybe a car to drive if it was in the equation was if the woman handled all of the money because he just, he was either going to smoke it up, shoot it up, however, drink it up or and you can ask yourself, how can you drink up your whole entire paycheck? Once you drunk, you drunk. And that's true. But the thing is, some people, when they get drunk, they start buying shit for other people. They lose money, give away money. You know what I mean? Rounds for everybody. You buying out the bar with a $1,500 check? That wasn't very smart. You know what I mean? So although I totally disagree with giving a woman your whole check, I can understand how there are situations that might warrant such, even if it's temporary. You know what I mean? And like until you get your sea legs, give me this money. Cause you be fucking up. It's like I said, as much contempt that I have for it, it may not ever work for me, but I can't necessarily say that it won't work for the next man. Now, your expectations of things have to be called into question because if you expect your woman to treat you nice and I don't know, give you sexual favors based on the income that you receive and how much you willing to donate,
favors. Wow.
Yeah, sexual favors. Shit, I don't know about you, Kim, but I know a lot of niggas that don't get no pussy if they don't give up no money. And they are living in the home, straight up, sleeping in the same bed. Some people have that type.
I don't feel like that.
Huh?
I don't feel like that. I think it's ridiculous. I do, but
yeah, of course, I think it's ridiculous too.
Really don't understand
but you'd be surprised. Just like there are so many people out there who don't know or don't think or can't fathom that your lover should be your best friend. If not your best friend, y'all ought to be close as shit. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. This was an interesting thing. There was this chick on the internet years ago, kept hitting me up asking for money. Cause some bitches on the internet, you're on some real shit. You'd be surprised at how sometimes you can just like a photo or some shit like that. And, they get in your inbox like, yeah, cause, they be selling ass on the internet. Literally. They literally sow an ass. So, they might start off like, I just need something. Could you cash at me, blah, blah, blah. And, me being me, I'm like, I don't know you like that. Why should I send you any money? They're like, well, are we friends? I'm like, what? Friends? How? I don't fucking know you. You know what I mean? You could be catfishing me. You might be a dude. I might be talking to somebody with a beard and a mustache for all I know. But she went on and she started talking about what did she say? She said some shit about you probably don't want to give me no money because I'm not your woman. And I said, well, that does make sense to me, but you don't have to be my woman in order for me to help you out. But I at least have to know you. You know what I mean? I have to know something about you. Because she was like, well, she said something. I can't remember exactly how it went. And it was such a while ago that I think I got her blocked after a while. But she said something about a man might just want to, have sex with his woman. But he really just want to chill with his boys. You know what I mean? He don't really want to be up under his girl, whatever. I was like, nah, I don't really be feeling that way. Especially, in my older age, like, I want to be around a bunch of niggas talking about what? Doing what? You know what I mean? You're like,
everybody should want to be their woman. Like, it shouldn't be a whole bunch of single dudes hanging out like that anyway.
Well,
like it shouldn't be a whole bunch of grown over 50 single women hanging out like that on a regular basis.
Well, but what she was saying was indicative.
She was trying to be slick.
What she was saying was indicative to a lot of the ways that people feel. A lot of people do not think that they should be friends with the person that they are in love with. Like there's a separation. Like the men go hang out with men when they want friendship, but they at home when they want loving. And I was like, no, that's corny. I was like, I'm not gonna be with no woman that's not that's
a relationship like that.
But that's
not even a relationship. That's nothing.
Well, then there's a lot of nothing out here. Trust and believe. There's a lot of nothing out here. But there are a lot of men out here who think that their money or their whole check is going to get them something. But there is a lot of nothing out here to go around. See, when you have experienced that good shit, when you have experienced that love and that comfortability and that reinforcement and all of that, you don't know about the other side. Shit, if you grew up on lobster and steak your whole life, you don't know nothing about canned salmon. You don't know nothing about that. You know it's edible, but that's all you know. You've been raised on lobster and steak. You don't know nothing about ramen noodles and, you know what I mean, some Kool-Aid. You don't know nothing about that.
You realize that there's not a lot of songs out there. There's only one song that I can think of that has trust in it, and that's that song by what's her name? What's her name? The one she done with mine. The one Keisha. What's her name?
Oh, Trust. The song was literally called Trust.
Monica and
Keisha Cole.
Yeah, Keisha Cole. The song was called Trust. But every other song you hear, you don't hear no man sing a song about trust. You hear him. I just sung songs on Sunday. Take my money, my house, and my car. I give you the sun, the rain, the moon, the stars, and the mountain. And then what is it? I give good love. I buy your clothes. I cook your dinner. Nobody never mentioned trust.
Well,
Nobody never said
wait a minute
trust.
now. It depends on the songs you listen to, because there's song, even the song by even though that's my favorite song by Keisha Cole, she not really talking about trust in the song. If you wait, it's just another love song that's called Trust. You know what I mean? But most people, they're not going to write songs like that, and really, they don't need to. What needs to happen is it needs to be practiced. You know, like I don't have to have trust portrayed to me in my entertainment. What I need is that shit in my real life, so I can make the separation between fantasy and reality. That's what I
Well, if
need.
that's the case, you don't have to. You don't need to have love projected in entertainment neither. Then
But it's
neither one should be projected.
but it's big. But that's a situation that's bigger than me. Now I can find the kind of music that I want to listen to with the kind of lyrics that resonate with me. I can find that. But fuck whether I can find that in a catalog of music. Can I find that in my life? You know, when you think about vulnerability, most people out here really fear being vulnerable. And the reason that they fear vulnerability is because they don't have trust. You would not fear being weak or being or being unsure or lacking confidence if you knew that somebody wasn't going to fuck you up over it and make it worse. You wouldn't fear that. You would actually have opportunities to improve yourself if you knew that you had trust on your side. And if you really think about it, you think about what vulnerability is. Who should help you out with your vulnerability more than the person that you're in love with? Now, take into consideration that the only reason you feel vulnerable is because somebody is making you feel so good that it's making you disarm yourself. Which means that previously you had to keep your guard up at all times. You had to make sure your ribs were protected. You had to guard your grill. You had to bob and weave. And you finally gotten with somebody who lets you know you ain't got to put your guard up. And it's because you feel like you're about to let your guard up that actually makes you put your guard up even more. That's vulnerability. Now, do you have the trust to match it? You know what I'm saying? Do you have the trust to match your vulnerability? Because you already there and it's scaring the shit out of you. So, when you talk about giving a man giving a woman his whole paycheck, or a woman giving her whole heart to a man, I listen to this dumb. You want to talk about music, Troy? I listen to this dumb shit out here. A lot of these songs out here, they talking about, you think that as long as you suck a nigga dick and cook him a meal, then everything should be all right. That's literally what we working out here. And the problem is a lot of people subscribe to that. Like, endless blowjobs and food. I think I'm all right.
Life is beautiful.
Well, I know I didn't have to do neither one of those things and things worked out. So I'm going to say that's, I call bullshit on.
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait. Say what? Wait, I'm sorry, Kim. You mumble something? You said you.
I said I didn't have to do any of those things, and it was what it was. So I'm going to call bullshit and it's a lie.
Okay.
That's dumb. If whores to suck a dick, you can get a whore to suck his dick. You can get any bitch to cook him a meal.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're right. You're right. You're right, and you're wrong. You're right, and you're wrong. Now, neither one of those two are the end all be all. But you should, even if you don't do the two, you should always be willing to do the two. Like, you may not have to blow your man all the time, but it shouldn't be like, nah, this motherfucker better not ask me to do no shit like that. That's a problem. Like, okay, all right, it's just like, yeah, you don't have to fry him chicken every night. But if he want fried chicken, he should be able to come to you and shake a couple of drumsticks inside in the powder, the seasoned powder, and throw that shit up in the oil. You know what I mean? So willingness goes a long way. You know, I do have a problem. I have a problem with, like, for example, I'm not a fan of anal. That's not my thing. But I feel like a chick that's dealing with me would, you know what I mean, would bend over if I want that shit. Now that's like I said, that's not my thing. But I know a store I can go to and get the product. You know, shit. If I ever had a hankering for such. All right, 4:00. I'll holler at y'all later. Yeah, hankering. All right. So I'm gonna tell you one thing. If I'm giving up my whole check, you'll be telling me, you'll tell me what you ain't going to. What you mean you ain't sucking? You ain't doing what? I just gave you my whole, you out of your fucking mind. Give me back my change. Give me my change. Fuck out of here. Look, subtract the blowjob fee. Subtract that shit. Fuck out of here. Yeah, I need an itemized invoice. This chick tripping. What the fuck?
I'm clear in the beginning of any relationship. If you ask me to do these things, then more than likely it's not going to happen. If I want to, then I will, but it's going to be on my time. And if I never do, I never do. But if you ask me, I'm good because I'm not asking you to do that to me.
So just because you don't need it.
Everybody, and at that time, everybody has an opportunity to say, I'm out. They choose not to say they're out.
Okay. Hey, I mean, shit. I mean, that's your household. I'm just saying.
And if that's a requirement for them, then I can say, I'm good on this relationship. We can stay friends. And I've been there before, too. Like, I'm good because you're not going to bully me into something I don't want to do.
I mean, I do feel as though, you know, you give your wife or your woman your whole paycheck, it should be tripod season. You know, that's not end all to be all, but look, that your woman should be a tripod right about that. You know.
Listen, man.
So you just got a whore. You just got a whore. Is that what you're saying?
You damn right. I want my woman to be a whore in the bedroom and a lady out the room.
Hold on. Whoa. Wait a minute. Kim, you had a problem with a woman being a whore for her man?
No, I got a problem with, because I'm giving her my money, she's now my whore, and I got to do anything I want to her.
Listen.
So you want to piss and shit on her, you can do that.
That's not what I'm at. Oh my God, that don't make you a whore. It just make you. That's a freak. There's a difference between a whore and a freak. I want to be on record as saying I'm not dealing with. I'll be goddamn if I have a woman who won't be a whore for me. You know what I mean? You might not be a whore for them, but you won't be a whore for me. Nah, I mean, I don't have no stringent requirements. I don't want to piss on nobody or whatever. Shit, they pee on me. I've been peed on plenty of times. I ain't never heard no woman apologizing for even getting a chance to pee. You know what I mean? Women out here never get a chance to pee.
I appreciate you giving us your testimony with this.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? There's women out here that's dying to pee on a man. They never got a chance to pee. I'm talking about the pleasure pee. I ain't talking about on no toilet pee. Although sometimes it don't seem like there's a difference. But nonetheless, the bottom line is this. The bottom line is this. When a couple decides on for themselves, it is what it is. As long as they are comfortable with the arrangement between each other. It's not about how much he pays for. But if a man is, I would think that if a man is going to give up his whole check, he should trust his woman to be his whore. And he should love.
It's a difference between being a whore from the bedroom and being a whore, period. And that's the language you guys are using right now. If I'm giving her my check, I should be able to do this, and I should be able to do that. And what you're saying is, because now you sound like a slave owner. If I give you food and you live in my house, slave, if you gonna do whatever I want,
let's speak for a minute.
I'm providing for you.
That's not right, because it takes me out, because when women are somewhat the same way, and they're even worse. Because what you don't do for them, the next man, and they'll tell you, what you don't do, the next man will.
That's across the board. What she wants to do, the next woman will.
Yeah, listen, let me see. You know, it's like this, right? If a man, let's hypothetically say the woman's not working and the man is taking care of the household. You mean to tell me that that man shouldn't be provided with the best intimacy that he deserves? It has nothing to do with ownership. It has something to do with the fact that he's doing everything. He's working a 9 to 5 and then a fucking 6 to whatever, and then come home, he's barely sleeping. He's taking care of the household. He's taking care of the kids. He's taking care of her. She's able to sit back, kick her feet up. What about he might not come home to a plate of food? And you mean to tell me that she shouldn't be a whore in the bedroom?
That's not the same thing what you just said. That is definitely not the same thing.
If I'm giving up my whole check, up, you're damn right. Just like if she's
you said the check, taking care of the kids, he ain't getting no food. You said a whole bunch of shit that I said don't even, that's not the same thing.
Let's do this, Kim. It's not just about the check. But that's what we're speaking on right now. That's what we're speaking on. We're speaking about the check.
Look, y'all gotta move this along. It's 2:12. I mean, it's 4:12.
I'm just saying this part, and I'm gonna stop. At the end of the day, when a man, his woman should be wanting to be a whore in the bedroom and the lady outside the bedroom. Because then, to me, on my behalf, I'm filthy. Sometimes I'm utterly disgusted. I ask myself, like, did I do that? I want her to wake up and say, what the fuck was I thinking? But I liked it. There you go. Enjoy the night. Beautiful.
Okay. All right. Hey, Kim, I want you to take a Valium. That's what I want you to do. You're a little high strung. You gotta calm down a little bit.
Y'all will pay me back on Friday.
Pay you back for what?
Yeah, well, music night. Y'all get back to me on Friday.
I mean, pay you back for what? What have you done wrong?
Well, you know, I just got the best. I got most improved student this past Friday. Before that, I got an S because I ain't do no homework. So,
well, you did. You did. I mean, you ain't do what you supposed to do. You was on point tonight, though. You know what I mean?
I was on point tonight.
Yeah, you was definitely on point. But don't ask Kim. Don't ask Kim. She might not agree.
I mean, listen. This is where me, you, and Kim are just a group of opinionated people. Sometimes we want to agree to disagree, but it's all up. You know, but that's what makes a great live stream, because if we all agreed, it wouldn't make no fucking sense.
Well, you know, Kim don't want to be a slave. She got a thing against slaves. Personally, I need a joint that's kind of slave like. You know what I mean?
Slave life, yeah. I can agree. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some white. I'm going to white face, and I'm going to make her be able to be a slave.
Listen, I don't want no. I'm not into whips and all that kind of shit. I would just teach you how to hate all your people. All right, yeah. Kim, you all right?
I'm good.
All right, cool. That's what's up. All right, y'all. We way over time. I want to thank y'all for coming through. Appreciate y'all as usual. You know, you already know. I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Y'all have a good night tonight. We're gonna do these birthday shout outs. Oh, but hold on, before y'all go, let's take a look at this poll. Take a look at the poll. We got what, 38 votes. All right. What do you think is the main reason that a man would give a woman his whole paycheck? His whole paycheck. All right. 11% says no check, no woman, no other way. 3%, only 3% says he has a drug or gambling habit. Wow. 26% says he's just a simp, trick, or a sucker. And 61%, definitely the majority, says he was raised this way. His daddy did it. Damn. So you are more likely to fork over your whole check if your daddy forked over your whole check. You know, one
that's why I asked you. And that's why I asked you that.
Well, one option that I didn't put in there that I'm surprised didn't come up between the three of us is the way that a woman feels about her son giving up the whole check. I don't know too many women who would encourage their son to do that shit. And it'd be funny because a lot of women who may even have problems with men, they don't want they man. I mean, they don't want their son to be the kind of man that kind of gets rolled over on and, you know what I mean, gets played. Like, nah, we ain't doing that. And that kind of lets you know that deep down inside, they may feel like they have contributed to some of the treachery that has been, done to them. All right. But would you
Adam Eve made sure Adam bit the shit out that apple. And you think that was just because she kept saying it, or did she bend over and he seen that damn moose knuckle between her legs?
I know damn well my mom would never approve of me giving no woman all my money. And she told me that straight up and down. Like, you ain't doing that. The fuck, you crazy. That goes for my sisters. I'm also. And I don't know if they men ever did no shit like that either. I doubt it. They provided, they broke bread, but you didn't get no whole check.
Well, wait. Let's just ask the only mother on the line. Tell us, would you allow your son to give his girlfriend his whole check?
Well, I can't allow him to do nothing because he's grown. Did I encourage that behavior? No. But did he do it? Yes.
Okay.
How many times did he do it?
He's only had 2 relationships.
Oh, okay.
So that's the relationship he's in now.
But he may have done it like a few times. That I don't mean like every time he got paid he did it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know. How do you define turning over the check? She had access to his account anytime he got paid, and she could go in it and do whatever needed to be done. And if it meant taking his whole check to cover everything, then that's what she did.
Okay. Now,
is this the one you didn't like?
No, the one I didn't like was not.
Troy, don't stress this show out. It's over. It's over. No.
I was just waiting for Kim to say fuck that bitch or something.
Y'all be getting too cerebral on this shit. Like, Troy over here just want to see reaction to shit. I holler.
You probably should do that again and do another show with the mothers talking about that.
Well,
I think that's a good one. Let us all speak on it.
Whether they would encourage their son to to give that.
Because I don't think nobody encourages anybody to do that. I just think it's something they decide. My son trusted this lady, this young lady who he's had a relationship with twice. And again, they were friends first. And so I think he just trusted her so much that it was just comfortable for him to allow her whatever her needs were. Like, he bought her a car. He made sure she has a house and her mom. So I'm just saying, I just think I think it's friendship and, of course, that comfortable side. And the plus side of it is now he is in a very vulnerable stage and she's by his side 100%. So.
Well, okay, all right, that's cool. But buying a house and a car is different from giving your whole check. It may seem different. I mean, it might seem the same, but it ain't. One come with payments. One is the payment. All right, y'all. I'll get with y'all later. Peace.
Have a good one, everyone. Stay safe.
All right. All right, y'all. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious July 9th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, my man, comedian, my man, D Smooth. Dwayne Break, D Smooth, happy birthday to you. And also Sharon Thorne, Celeste Atkins, Samid Ty, LaQuanda McCullum, Charlonda Shriek Wilson, DeShantel DM Locust, Robert Sewell Jr., Kia Hunley, Charvelia Lovett, Yvonne Bonnie Lee, and last but not least, my girl Pamela Lucas Kennebrew. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out the audience. July 9th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally, all of y'all go ahead and turn up. Turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn to rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, giving your whole paycheck doesn't give you enough neck and respect. I think respecting a little neck is probably qualified, but that doesn't mean that you didn't try to get a little bit more. What do you think that you're going? What are you paying for? The score might be the same. Maybe it's a tie, but sometimes you got to ask yourself why. Would you have to give all your dough? Yo, I mean, if y'all agree, then I say so. Yo, what a man and a woman agree to is sometimes on some other shit, but he do what he has to do or the way that he feels. If she got your heartstrings, you might as well kill still. But I can't do that sit back, relax, chill. Will I ever be in a position where I don't really think that that's my mission, but that doesn't mean that it shouldn't be done. If it's okay with you, then 751 or 752, do what you gotta do. You and your whole crew, you screw what you want. Ain't no more rhyming. Listen, I'm out of here. Listen. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all and love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, 2 a.m. in the morning. Y'all know how it go. I appreciate all of y'all coming through. Appreciate all y'all comments, y'all insight or whatever. I hope y'all enjoy listening to the show as much as I enjoy broadcasting it. Peace out. Peace to my peoples, Kim's Wims and Troy Diesel. A pleasure as always. Please hit the like button before y'all get on up out of here. Hit the like button. It helps the show. It helps the channel. The channel needs help. See y'all tomorrow night. Be careful out there. Be safe. Either it's time to go to work or time to go to bed. Time to go to work or time to go to bed. Peace. Holla. Hit that like button.